What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Inside the Charge. In this week's episode, we've got cornerback Ja'Marcus Ingram joining us to tell us all about his new book. We're going to talk about his awesome season as well, so don't go anywhere. Ja'Marcus, thanks for joining us in this week's episode of Inside the Charge. You've got a big game coming up, but you also have some fun life news. You got a book.
Yes.
The Lil Player That Could. This is so exciting, so cool. We're going to talk a little bit about this book. We're going to talk a little bit about your season and a lot of other good stuff. But I want to ask you first, where did the idea come to release a book, to make a book, to create a book?
I had a few different inspirations. The first one would be Brandon Bryant. Got to shout him out because he released his book, So You Want to Be an Athlete, and he was like pushing me to, write my book. And then also my high school coach, John Woodruff, he had been telling me, since I was, chasing this dream of making it to the NFL, and now that I'm officially in, I wanted to establish myself a little bit more before I did it. And in year 3 now, and with him always being by my side, he kept, telling me, you need to write a book so that people can know. And I felt like, a children's book would be the way, along with the inspiration of Brandon Bryant, with him releasing his book. They both kind of like pushed me in a direction to do it. And then having my son, Sincere, that was another inspiration to write a book, to leave something behind for him.
Oh, that is so awesome. What is this book about?
So this book is about my story. Overcame a lot, to get to this point. Injuries, not being the biggest, the fastest, the strongest, kind of a lot of the things that most people say, but it's truly been a journey, to get to this point where I'm at now. Went to 3 different colleges, was a walk-on, didn't get on varsity until my senior year in high school. Only had one offer, and that was to Langston University in Oklahoma. And then, like I said, going to 3 different schools, walking on at Utah State, then grad transferring up to Texas Tech, and then not really doing so well while I was at Texas Tech, and then having to, transfer again and finish up at UB, and then getting to the league, being a tryout. So it's just been a journey overall, and I wanted to write something that kids could relate to while I have the platform, where they listen, in a good way. It's like kids kind of like look up to athletes, and I feel like what other way to touch their hearts than to write a book that maybe they could relate to and pay attention to while I'm in the league, and give them some inspiration and some hope to chase whatever dream that they have outside of just sports, just aspiring to be more than what maybe they could perceive like while they're young. So
your story is one of grit. It's a very inspiring story, so it totally makes sense that you would write a book based on what you've gone through, working hard and earning a spot on a 53-man roster. Why are you so proud of this book, Ja'Marcus?
I'm super proud because I feel like I challenged myself outside of sports, to put the pen to the paper, and then to see it, today, like, coming to life. It's like, you talk about things, and then to see them turn into a reality, that's kind of another thing that my story is based on, just dreams coming to reality. So to see this book, coming to fruition, and put my mind to something outside of ball, like, it's truly a dream come true again, to see this physical copy of this book and be able to share it with other people so that they could see my creativity.
Are you hoping that this book is the first of many?
Definitely. Like I said, my mind is just, I'm very creative, so I feel like this is the first of many, and I'm excited to see how people like it.
I love it. This book is all about your story. You also do a great job of working in the community, providing hope, and just being a light to children in Buffalo and in Texas, where you're from. How do you hope that this book impacts the community?
I hope that it sparks something inside the kids to just dream big. I think that's the key to life. I think the key is to dream big, and then spread love. With all the things that I do in the community, I feel like my presence and being accessible, to kids, adults, whoever it is, just to put a smile on their face. I feel like this book will, definitely do that. Put a smile on their face, and I also have a coloring book that's attached to it, and with me being, creative and artistic, I think the things that kids are able to do with drawing, illustrations, and things like that, um, it'll be able to spread beyond, just being a book. It'll be something that they can get creative with, and just opening up many other doors to be accessible to kids. I think this will help me be more involved in the community and be more involved with kids, to just show them, that anything is possible.
So where can people get this book?
So you can pre-order it at storytellwonderland.com, and then it will be releasing on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Books A Million. They haven't gave me a release date, but once they give me a release date, it'll be out. And but you can pre-order it at www.storytellwonderland.com, and also you can get it at on hand. I'll have some public signings and things like that coming soon at some different locations in Buffalo, so you'll be able to pull up and get a copy.
I want to read the first page of this book because I think it sums up how much you love this sport and just what you've been through in order to find a place in the NFL. It says, "Hey y'all, I'm Ja'Marcus." Actually, you should read the first page of the book from your voice.
All right. Okay, let's do it. All right. Hey y'all, I'm Ja'Marcus. Football is my love, a gift I receive like a blessing from above. A kid with dreams, shining bright. When I first held that football, it all felt so right. Every game and play, crafting my tale, a story of grit where dreams prevail.
A story of grit where dreams prevail. I think about your story in those sentences, from being a player out of high school who had one offer. You said you walked on at your first college and you end up playing at 3 colleges. You end up at University at Buffalo to finish out your collegiate career as a starter. You come to the Bills as a tryout player and you earn a spot on the practice squad. Now 3 years into your career in the NFL, you're on the 53-man roster. How is your story a story of grit, but also one where dreams do prevail?
I think it's just everything in life you have to work for. And I say I wouldn't want it no other way, than to earn everything that I have. And my granny used to always say, like, if it comes to you easy, then that's a red flag. You don't want nothing that come to you easy like that. So I think that's where the grit come in, and just my pops, watching him work hard every day and always have a smile on his face. Like, I learned, just what hard work is, and to never give up on myself, and overcome anything. And I used to watch Kobe Bryant a lot, and just, he always said, the job's not finished. And so I feel like, with whatever it is that you want in life, you got to work hard at it, and then ultimately believe. And so my mom always says too, faith without work is dead. And so you can have that faith, and the dreams will prevail. Like, it's a dream come true to even be sitting down having this interview and talking about my story and making it to where I am now. That's a part of the dream, and I'm still working, still grinding to achieve other things that I want. But at the same time, my dreams have prevailed, through all the hard work and dedication, and, sleepless nights, long days, long hours, putting in extra work, overachieving, to see dreams come true and be in the spotlight that I am in now.
You say you're still working, but also in a lot of ways you have shown, I belong here. and you've done it by proving that on the field. In the first week of the season, you had to step in and play nickel cornerback, and you had a game-saving play. You're a cornerback. You're not always practicing at nickel cornerback, so you're playing in a position that you don't always play. You have a huge play to help earn Buffalo the victory. Then in week 2, you have 2 interceptions, one that you returned for a pick 6. How were you ready to step up in those opportunities when your name was called?
I think it was my mindset, just working on my mindset really all off season, doing a lot of work, to have that confidence in myself, and believing in my abilities. Those are some of the things that I learned from great guys like Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, Josh Norman, Tre'Davious White. Like those guys, just seeing them and seeing how they come to work and show up to work every day. I just wanted to attack my mindset heavy this off season and really dive into my imagination as well. Visualizing. I visualize a lot with Dr. Dez, and just seeing those plays before they happen, and always telling myself, that I'll be ready, when that moment comes. And just, I create value when I step onto the field. And so just telling myself those things and seeing myself living my dream and having fun, making plays and stuff like that. It was just like, preparing myself ultimately throughout the week, day in and day out, and just preparing like I'm a starter, and telling myself that I can make those plays, and just believing in myself when that moment came. Like I was just telling myself, like, I'll be in position to make this play. I'll be in position to make this play. I'll be in position to make this play. And to see myself make those plays and go back and look at it, it's surreal. It's a surreal feeling. So those are the things, like just my mindset and being able to be ready for those moments and prepare for those moments. That way, when they come, I can capitalize on those plays.
You guys work every day at practice on the field to fine-tune the football skills. How do you fine-tune the mindset?
It's a lot of meditation, self-talk, and one thing that I picked up on this year that Dr. Dez helped me out with was journaling. Just journaling my thoughts and journaling things that I want to see come true. And every day I write those things down, and I tell myself that over and over. Like when I wake up, I have things that I say to myself. Throughout the day, I have things that I say to myself. And I read a book, As a Man Thinketh, and so a lot of those things that I want to tell myself, I include positivity in it. I include gratefulness and gratitude, and just try to speak life into myself and speak life into others around me. And so that's some of the work that I do, daily, consistently, to keep myself in the right place.
How hard is that to do? As somebody who, you have so much going on in your mind already, just getting ready for a game on Sunday, going through meetings, going through rehab, but then to also be working at your mindset, every second of the day. How tough is that to make sure I'm going to stay on top of this?
I think it's super challenging. But at the same time, it's like once you create a routine, it kind of becomes a habit. So before I was, aware of, the mindset and mentality and things like that, it was like I kind of paid attention to other things that I did consistently, like working on my body, eating habits, watching TV or things like that. Like just all of those things, you create a habit or a routine. So I was like, okay, if I'm working this much, doing other things, why can't I work on my mind as much? So it's kind of like creating a routine helps it not be as challenging, so that I can stay consistent with the things that I need to do, and I include it into my routine with football. And so it's kind of like now
it's all together.
Yeah, it's all ingrained together as one to help it not be as challenging, because before you get into the mental stuff, you kind of not really aware of how challenging it can be.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are probably interested in working on their mindset and interested in learning more about it. But when you think about something like that and maybe it hasn't been proven for yourself, the self-doubt comes in. And it's like, sure, I can improve my mindset. I could think positive thoughts, but I don't think any of that is going to come true. Where's the payoff been for you, where you've seen, I've done this, I've worked on my mindset, and look at what has come true in my life?
I think just this season alone, just habits that I picked up this off season. And like I said, I started talking with Dr. Dez, and she's been like a tremendous help, for me. And we started in camp, and every day I learned this from Trent Sherfield, just watching, not even asking or talking, just seeing them circle the field every day last year. And so that was something that I wanted to incorporate into my season this year. And so every day we take a lap or multiple laps, however many laps it takes, just to assess the day, assess, whatever it is that was going on, my mindset, my mentality, and just talking about it and just expressing these things and affirming the positivity that I want to see in my life, affirming the positivity that I want to see on the field, and affirming any positive or successful things that I want to see, and just speaking those things and talking about it. Just this season alone, like I said, one of the things that I tell myself every day was I'll be in position to make these plays. Whatever play that is, I might speak about it throughout the week. I'll have 3 goals that I set for myself, and I'll speak about it every day. And then for week 1, to be in at a position that I don't normally play, but I have had reps at it to be able to make a game-winning play, and then following up the next week, then making game-changing plays in a division game, and then the following week being able to have my number called on 3rd down and then get a sack, things like that, or pass breakups and things like that. Like I set goals throughout the week, not for results, but for consistency and to see how the positivity and things that I've put out, and speaking positivity over my life and playing this game, just this season alone is a testament to all the things that I've wanted to see come true. And I'm excited to see where, more of this work can take me, with my career, my life as a father, as a son, brother, and things of that nature. So
I'm hearing you say all this, and I'm thinking, wow, the impact of actually doing this is way more than just on yourself. It sounds like a generational impact that you can have with the change in mindset, with the positive talk, with the belief in yourself. Your son, we can't see him right now, but he's right off of the camera. You have another baby on the way. How do you think this will help your children?
I think it'll give them something to show, who their dad was, and the creativity that I have, and the hard work and the passion, and the belief in myself, and also the belief that I have in them, and I think the things that I have within me that they will have within them, also things from their mom, and I think that ultimately they'll understand, in the long run, that their dad really had a great heart, that he, was going to accomplish whatever he set his mind out to. And when they see that, I'll be a superhero in their eyes, greatest dad that, lived in their eyes, and or that lives with them as well, and is that they can accomplish anything because I accomplished, my dreams. And I just want them to aspire to be greater than I was, and whatever it is that they want to do in life.
I love that. So does Sincere already have a football in his hand sometimes?
Sometimes.
Is he interested in what Dad's doing?
Sometimes. he got a little basketball right now that he, dribbling around. But he always got that phone in his hand. So I think he's gonna be more of a tech guy. Maybe.
I like it, a tech guy. Hey, in today's day and age, being interested in tech and working in tech is also a great thing to do. I think when you spend 5 minutes with you, Ja'Marcus, it's easy to see that you have this incredible come-up story. You just are a great person to be around. Your energy is so positive, and you have this smile that can light up a room. And it's something that I think a lot of people remember about you when they meet you for the first time. Where does that smile come from?
It comes from my pops, my dad, Godfrey Ingram. And just seeing his smile all the time. He passed away in 2018, and that's one of the things that I remember about him the most. He had one gold tooth, and the smile that he had would light up a room. You could probably never tell what he was going through, or never knew what he was going through, but it was that smile that he had was one that uh, there was this one like that you will always recognize and always remember. So I credit my pops for the smile that I got, and I'm just grateful that I got it, and that people recognize it. Cause in my mind, I'm always smiling. I'm always uh, like cheesing, as some of my people in my family would say, "Boy, you always cheesing." So I just smile a lot, and I smile a lot because I don't really have too much to frown about. So.
How does your dad inspire you today through football and in life as well?
He inspired me a lot. I would say just in general, just like hard work, uh, and no matter what, like I knew he was gonna get the job done. Like rain, sun, like whatever it was, I mean sleet, like cold weather, whatever it was, hot weather, like no matter what, I knew when the sun came up, like my pops was gonna get it done, and he was gonna find a way, no matter what, I think he's watching over me, guiding my steps, and I think he was right there with me down in Miami, because he passed on my birthday, and so after that, uh, I never really felt like I had closure, with it. And so like around that time, around my birthday, September 2nd, I always kind of like, say like a little prayer, and try to talk to him, because I know he on the other side, and I just, tell him to guide me, guide my footsteps and be right there with me. And I think the 2 picks that I had down in Miami was him, confirming that he was right there with me, because the 2 represent a lot. The day that I was born, the day that he left, that was the number that I was wearing when he passed away. And so I see 2 a lot, and the 2 just represent, that's another reason I put the 2 on the book cover. And so I think he was right there with me, and just every day I know he's helping guide my footsteps in the right direction. And
How crazy is that when things show up in numbers and signs? I remember when Damar Hamlin suffered that cardiac arrest episode, and for weeks after, 3s were showing up everywhere in statistics and just throughout scenes and things like that. And it was like, this makes perfect sense.
yeah.
How surreal is that when 2s show up in your life in that way?
It's super surreal, and it takes me a moment sometimes to kind of catch on to it, because they say signs are for the conscious mind, and so sometimes I might not be as conscious of those things, and so I sit and take the time to like meditate and just sit in silence, like in the Bible says, peace, be still, and know. And so sometimes I have to just sit and like really reflect on the things that are happening in my life and some of the signs that may occur, and I have to like pay attention and really see them. So then I reflect on them, and I'm like, dang, okay, I kind of caught on to the meaning of that, or maybe I'll have a dream that takes me back to something, a sign or a number or something, and I'm like, dang, okay, I remember that happening, and I'm like, this is crazy, and I kind of piece it together in my own understanding to see how, things speak to me, and, pay attention to the signs that, are all around me.
You've talked about in this interview how creativity drives you in several different ways. One of those ways is through creating your first children's book. What are some other ways that creativity drives you?
I think in fashion, creating clothes, that's a part of me as well. Also, I cut hair. That's another creative thing, because I feel like people express themselves through the way that they groom themselves, and so being able to cut someone's hair to their liking, I think that's another form of creativity. Drawing, music, a lot of different things that I partake in that.
Do you want to
brings
just
out
shout out
creativity.
some of those skills, because you
Oh,
have
yeah.
more skills than anybody I know. So let's run it
Yeah.
down so we can hear about it.
Yeah, so I can draw, I can cut hair, I'm trying to see.
What instruments?
Instrument, I got a saxophone.
Mm-hmm.
I played the trombone. I'm trying to see. I can customize clothes. I can customize shoes. I did a lot. Like growing up, I was a real entrepreneur. I cut grass, um, sold candy. I did a lot of different things, and creating this book. That's another form of creativity. And I have some more stuff in the works. Animations and things like that. So just a lot of different things that bring out my creativity. I think drawing is probably the biggest one. Because I have such a creative mind. So.
How do you have time for all this? You are an NFL player. You're a dad. You have a baby on the way. Where do you have time for this? Or is it just I have such a creative, active mind that I need to do these things?
Yeah. I try to include it into my schedule. With everything that I have going on. Like even if I have my son, like we might sit down and he might scribble on the table, and I'll draw, or like if I'm like listening to music or studying the instrument or something like that, like I'll have him sitting right beside me, or like just even football, like I try to like multitask but be hyper focused on one thing. Like so if I'm studying film, like I'll have like music going or like something else around me, pulling my energy. Then I'll take like little breaks, like little 5 or 10 minute breaks, and those are rewarding to me to do something different than the thing that I'm so focused on.
Right.
And so I try to do that, and then I also take that hyper concentration and do it within my routine. And so I have set specific times that I knock out the things that I need to knock out for football, whether that's drawing, whether that's an instrument, this book, or business. Like I try to like organize it in a way that I'm not all over the place, but at the same time, it's like I still know how to integrate little things within my routine to be efficient.
I feel like we need to take a Ja'Marcus Ingram class about how to organize our lives, because I'm the person who's like scrolling on my phone once in a while when I could be hyper focused on something that I need to get done. So I think maybe this is something you need to put in the works too. Maybe it's an adult book on how to organize my mind. That would be nice. You spoke about the fashion piece, which I want to get into. You have great fashion. How would you describe what you put on game days when you're showcasing your style as you walk into the stadium?
I say I just kind of I like colors, and so I try to like match colors and color coordinate a lot. And I think that goes back to the drawing and things like that, illustrating. I feel like when I put clothes on, I'm kind of like painting a canvas, of myself. And so I try to look in the mirror and see like what things go, what things don't go. I'm like, okay. And then I try not to be too mannequin. Like, I don't want to look like something that was in the store or something that, people have seen online. So I try to like get creative in the sense of what I can do with fashion, and I try to piece together different pieces from different clothing lines, whether that's Fashion Nova, a Cool, or Heron Preston. Like a lot of different pieces of fashion, I can piece it together with something that's cheap and something that's not too expensive. So I feel like I'm painting a canvas every time I put something on.
Do you have a favorite look from this season?
Nah, I don't. Not yet. I think that's to be continued.
That's come the end of the season, the playoffs.
Yeah, I got one.
I like it. How far in advance do you start to think about looks, or is it like I'm going to load my closet with stuff throughout the year, and from there I just piece things together day of?
Yeah, I'm more like that. I load up on stuff, and then like 2 nights before, I'll start like walking in the closet, then I'll look and I'm like, okay, I like the way that look, I like the way this look, and then I kind of like pull some stuff out, and then the night before is like my finalizing details. I'm like, all right, I could see myself putting this on, and then like the day of, that's when I go in and I'm like, all right, I'm wearing this. Because it's based on, I feel like it's based on how you feel, too.
That's true.
Like, you got to have a feeling
Mm-hmm.
of what you know, of what you want to put on.
Are you somebody who is obsessed with an item of clothing? Do you love shoes? Do you love the accessories? Do you love a good pair of pants, a nice shirt? Is there one that you feel like, okay, this is what I like to either spend money on or spend my time on, or what I think really puts an outfit together?
I think shoes.
Shoes.
I'm a shoe guy. I'm
Mm-hmm.
a shoe guy. I've always been a shoe guy, and I love a good hoodie. Yeah, I like shoes. If the shoe's not right, then the fit not gonna be right.
Do you have a favorite pair of shoes?
I don't, cause I got so many. I don't got a favorite. I think I'm more of a mixed feelings type of guy. Like, I could be here one day and here another day. Like, I'm kind of like, I don't really got a
So
favorite.
if we don't have a favorite pair of shoes, how many pairs do you own? Could you put a number there?
I'm gonna say like upper 70s, 80s.
Wow.
Yeah, upper 70s, 80s.
Do the shoes have their own room? How do you organize?
Yeah, so I got a big closet down in Texas, and so they kind of like, I color coordinate them all the way around my closet, like at the bottom and at the top, and then I color coordinate the clothes with it. And so, and then out here in Buffalo, I kind of like start new, kind of fresh every year. So like this year, I'm slowly building up the collection. And so it's kind of like they just kind of like organize and order, like color coded in a way.
A collection in Buffalo and a collection in Texas. That is awesome. All right, final question for you. What's the hope for the rest of the season here, Ja'Marcus? We're entering like the final 5-ish weeks of the regular season. What's the hope right now for you?
The hope right now for me is to contribute as much as I can, give my best, each and every snap that I'm out there, and just be consistent, with my play, and be consistent, with being a great teammate and being an asset to this team, and contributing to the goals that we have as a team and contributing to the goals that we have as a defense, to accomplish the ultimate goal, which is to get down to New Orleans in February.
Heck yeah. I believe in you guys. I think you have so much to be proud of, where you've come, how you've worked in this role that you're currently in, and just what's ahead for you. It is so easy to cheer for you. It is so easy to become a fan of you because of all of those things. So thanks for sitting down and chatting with us about the book, about your season, about life. Make sure you guys go get the Lil Player That Could.
Thank you so much for having me.
With the big 2 on the front. So cool.
Thank you.
Of
I
course.
appreciate you for sitting down with me.
Yes. Make sure you guys stay tuned for the next episode of Inside the Charge.